Om Shri Ganeshaya Namana. Greetings to everyone, world over, all our brothers and sisters across the globe, wherever you are. We extend you a very hearty welcome today, and it's indeed a great pleasure that you're joining us from different parts of the world. Today, our chamber is going to make three very important recommendations to give the boost, to give the fillip, and to give the push to the Indian tourism. Honorable Prime Minister of India always talks about 5 trillion economy. Let's move to 10 trillion economy. We always have a challenge for the employment. But if you get deeper into the study and if you get deeper into the strategy, tactics, and the action plan, our chamber would love to share the vision today and three recommendations when we make at the end of 10 minutes presentation, just 10 minutes. Let's talk about it. Welcome to 108 Zoom session series, which we started with Dr. Subhash Goelji. I'm so grateful to him. There's so much to learn and so much to know. And he talks about lots of statistics and present values. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when we move to the world of travel and tourism, the art, the craft, the handloom, the heritage, the culture, the cuisine, the dances, the music, the costume, the languages, the flora and fauna, wildlife, natural, man-made, whatever you can think of, everything cuts across tourism. There is no industry, there is no segment on this planet, you name it, it is directly or indirectly linked with travel, tourism, hospitality, and aviation industry. What should be our focus? Career in travel and tourism in India, and particularly our youth, why they should take tourism as their career, tourism as their future, tourism for the global happiness, tourism for the mental wellness, tourism for the environment protection, everything if we take into totality, you've got to understand what role tourism can play in our life. Well, whatsoever you are studying, wherever you are, irrespective, you are in rural, you are in urban, you are in metro, wherever you are, or you are in the far-flung, non-accessible areas, even if I go to all the place, all the way in Arunachal Pradesh to Dong village, where the first sun ray comes, wherever you are, your parents are always asking, what do you want to do? Whatever subjects you are studying, what are your plans? What do you want to become? Do you want to go for entrepreneurship? Do you want to become startup? You want to go for self-employment? You want to go for employment? Whatever you want to become, that's what we have been talking about. The government of India has also set the target for the services exports for 1 trillion, which of course we will share in a little while. Now, this particular series, which our Chamber for Service Industry has started, and we started on the first Navratra, that's on 9th of April, with the first speaker, the legend, as I told you, Dr. Subhash Goelji, and we are moving in this series 108 beats, 108 Rudraksh. That is the pull when we put together all of them, whether the policy or the planning or the marketing or the strategy or the innovation or the youth or the technocrats or professionals or whosoever is directly or indirectly, whether you are even in education of tourism, hospitality and aviation, skill development, micro, small, medium enterprise, you are for the global strategy, you are for the national strategy, you are for domestic tourism, inbound tourism, outbound tourism, excursion tourism, whatever we can think of. The various association heads, various legends, those have given their entire life for this particular industry, and they've been waiting for one particular day. Non-resident Indians, those are in different countries world over. Global technocrats, Indians, those have gone abroad. We are in touch with a sizable population of travel, tourism, and hospitality. Those are interested to do something for India. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, we are preparing this blueprint, which we wish to submit to the Honorable Prime Minister before 15th of August 2000, that is 24. And if you see it, it will go for next. Here's the gentleman. He sleeps with tourism, gets up with tourism, thinks tourism, walks tourism, talks tourism all the times. Whenever you listen to him, that passion, that fire, that thing which comes with him, the God's own country, incredible India, 12 champion sectors of service industry under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Niti Aayog giving its own strategies, and now he gave the maximum push under the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister, that's G20 Sherpa, Mr. Amitabh Kant. One Earth, one family, one future. We all are talking about climate change. We all are talking about global warming. We all are talking about how basically the clean energy and everything. And over here during the pandemic, we all felt nobody was cleaning anything, but everything was cleaned natural way because there was no garbage, there was no destruction. Everybody was there for protection. Dekho Apna Desh campaign was also launched during this pandemic by the Ministry of Tourism. And that was a fantastic idea. We all have ideas. Idea has to be turned into implementation. That's why our chamber for service industry, if you come on to csi.in.net, you can send us any suggestion. Let's move ahead. Responsible tourism, sustainable tourism, green tourism, flora and fauna tourism, wildlife tourism, whatever we are talking about. What are our challenges? We want to be economically empowered. We want to generate more employment. We want to have self-employment. We want to grow our economy. And whatever we want to do at the same time, we want to display and project the right culture in the right packaging, in the right form, without any destruction. And why tourism matters. What all tourism cuts across, as I told you, when you take a length and breadth, north, south, east, west, wherever the world over, any continent you see, and the countries, those are having responsible tourism. But how to make it attractive as a career? Why children are not interested to take tourism as a career? Why it is vocational? When I look at, now here comes the recommendation from our side today, and we would like to share. We want to touch the moon, but we don't want to reach even stars. We don't want to work in that direction. We got to be pragmatic all the time. It is not that Prime Minister of India talks only tourism, tourism, tourism all the times alone. We all got to jointly put in our vision. Let's say our first recommendation. I'm recalling way back 1988 when I was a part of the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, and we set up the IITTMs, and we, with our team, drafted the whole MBA tourism program for this country, which went across length and breadth to all the universities, colleges, institutions. Today, I feel very happy. And I still recall the hotel management program of the Ministry of Tourism used to be diploma. And that got converted. We moved on to the degree program. I still recall going to the vice chancellor of IGNOU and Kurukshetra becoming first university in India. So start MBA tourism, then Himachal Pradesh, then Jodhpur, then going to Devi Ahilya Vishwavidyalaya, then Lucknow, ITM. So many things. Now let's make it attractive. You've got UPSC examinations. Everybody prepares, so many coaching centers, so much business is going on across India. Let's talk about it. Every child has got a dream. Can I become IAS? Can I become, if I become Indian Administrative Services exams cracking, thereafter, can I move to Indian Foreign Service, Indian Police Service, Indian Revenue Service, Indian Forest Service, Indian Economic Service, Indian Railway Service, Indian Postal Service, Indian Civil Account Services, Armed Forces Services, Army, Navy, Air Force, Paramilitary, Indian Defense Account Services, Indian Corporate Law Services, and Defense Estate Services. So many services being offered across the country. Can there be a vision? Can there be a dream? Can we turn into reality if we are really serious to make tourism as the economic earner and employment generator? Why not we should have ITS, India Tourism Service. People, those are going to work with the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, or with the State Tourism Department, or State Tourism Development Corporation, or even in the universities, educational institutions, skill centers. The people should come from that cadre. When you look at Australia, it's very nice to say they are doing extremely well. Can you see the finance minister over there comes from the finance background. The education minister comes from the education background. The law minister comes from the law background. The foreign minister comes from the foreign services. Why can't we think of, if we have got so many cadres I still recall the deliberations and discussions, but that remained discussions only. Today, we have got a very dynamic prime minister in this country. We've got a very vibrant environment. All the time, he talks about tourism. Can we all together give a push to this? Why not we should have India tourism services cadre? I think all the associations, all the verticals, whether tourism or hospitality or aviation, or those are directly, indirectly linked with the tourism. Let's have a deliberations onto this. Let's have a discussion onto this. Let's have a preparation onto this. You have got net qualification where children, those have done, and they are interested to crack net examination of the UPSC and they want to get into university ladder as an educator. There is an examination for tourism part 1, part 2. We are going to have deliberation tomorrow night onto that. Some professionals we have invited. They're going to discuss with you onto that. What I wish to share is why can't we think of, if there are so many cadres, why not India Tourism Services? Okay, let's move second part. NCRT is having so many modifications. NEP 2020, Honorable Prime Minister Sahab, during the thick of the pandemic, 25th of March 2020, when you declared the complete lockdown of the country and everything coming to standstill, on the 29th of July 2020, you had the courage, you had the vision, you had the pragmatic approach. You announced the new education policy 2020 for India, which is getting implemented. Once we are correcting our history books, now let me talk about tourism. Tourism cuts across history also, geography also, travel also, places also, people also, culture also, cuisine also, dances also, music also, people to people. 20 kilometers I am traveling in a country so-called India, and the dialect changes, the food part changes, the norms changes, everything changes. Why can't we have domestic tourism as an integral part of school education curriculum? All the stakeholders, those are with the various associations of travel and tourism and hospitality, aviation and all. During the thick of the pandemic, all the time I was thinking, why didn't we become more aggressive to get all that for our trade? And for our travel agent, for our tour operator, for our tourist transporter, for our excursionist, everybody suffered so much during the pandemic. At least now the time has come. Ministry of MSME, all the time giving so much of incentives for the. Everybody talks about manufacturing sector. Why don't we talk about services sector? Why don't we think about services sector? Why don't we give the push to services sector and let's share the vision? Education is a part of services. Skills is a part of services. Curriculum is a part of services. Competency is a part of services. Talent strategically channelizing for the youth in the new education policy is a part of the services. Why domestic tourism should not become integral part of school education curriculum instead of having a separate vocational subject where students got to be convinced, why don't you study tourism? Why don't you take tourism as a subject? I think that time has gone. Secondly, coming from the green uniform, let me share Army, Navy, Air Force, all the forces of India, we the people of this country, we travel length and breadth of this country. We go to those places where our own countrymen, some of the civilians, they have not traveled and they would think about it, how to travel to go to those particular places. Why not we should utilize the talent of the retired and the retiring defense personnel, reoccupation with the travel and tourism as a strategist, as a tactics, whatever you want to think about it, as a planner, as a strategist, service industry ventures, everything can be taken from there. Tourism as a career has to be made attractive. Ladies and gentlemen, students, youth, they will run. They would come for it. Let's have India Tourism Cadre. Let's have India Tourism Services. Let it become as a part of the UPSC like other services, and domestic tourism, all subject in school education should become integral part of the education ecosystem instead of having travel and tourism as a separate vocational subject. And we've got to bring more attractions. We'll talk in 100. Now, the Honorable Prime Minister made a appeal I still recall where he talked about, and he told non-resident Indians, our brothers and sisters, those have gone across the globe, wherever you are, why don't you convince 5 people to visit India every year? If there are 32 million Indians, non-resident Indians abroad in the different countries, cutting across the whole world, why can't they become the brand ambassador? And just imagine the appeal of the Honorable Prime Minister that if each one of you bring 5 people only, can you imagine how much tourism can be there in India? So, ladies and gentlemen, these were the 3 recommendations we wanted to make this evening. If really we are serious about tourism, and if the Honorable Prime Minister of India is making an appeal and he is telling all of us we should come forward, we should come with the ideas. Technology is playing very important role. I have I always recall my friend Deep Kalra, 1993, way back, makemytrip.com, when nobody was thinking about technology, and he was the person who took initiative. And that's why he's a leader. Today, technology is seeping in. Augmented reality is coming, virtual reality is coming, metaverse is coming. We are bringing on Monday evening a very special program for you. You would enjoy, because the technocrats are going to share a lot of vision with you on Monday evening. What I wish to request each one of you is, please, let's come forward. Put your best, thought process together, foot forward, and we are available to you all the time at 9988 Let me repeat it. 9988 We are available to you. Send WhatsApp. If you wish to share your vision, come in one of the Zoom sessions. Give your ideas. I'm pretty sure each Indian, when we talk about our total sizable population, and India is youngest town, India has got all young people, young boys and girls. You have got tremendous energy. You have got so much of thought process. You have got so much to share and so much vision you have got. This is the time. Tourism is fascinating. Tourism is attractive. Tourism is meeting, it is greeting, it is treating, it is taking people into the fold. It's a networking globally. I think the time has come. If we need peace in the world, there is a Russia-Ukraine war going on. And what has happened now between Iran and Israel? Ladies and gentlemen, tourism is the passport to the peace. Tourism is the solution for employment, self-employment, entrepreneurship, and startups. Tourism is the solution for the economic development. And tourism is a win-win situation for the entire world. India should take lead. Today was the first elections in India. I'm pretty sure we are the most peaceful and we are the wonderful country, and everything will go on very well. Let's wait for 5th of June. That's, it's a what? Very important day, World Environment Day. Anyway, we'll talk about that a little later. But today I just wanted to set the context. 1 week long we have come, starting with Dr. Subhash Goyalji, and we have moved up in this vision and will take the vision forward under the dynamic leadership of all my elders, all my brothers and sisters. Come forward, be a part of it. We have also made India Tourism Club. We are already 250 people together in that particular program. I'm also grateful to my friend Saurabh, who had been my student, guide, philosopher. He's doing extremely well. He's doing the entire packaging with me. I'm also grateful to Arunachal Pradesh Habung, who is doing a great job. I'm also grateful to Ajay, who is bringing the technical expertise. I'm also thankful to BK and JR. They're also putting in lots of efforts in this particular program. God bless all of us, and we will move forward and we will take the vision forward. India awaits you. Come and visit India this year. Let's be together, all of us. Thank you very much.